Oh, you're just a little dummy, aren't you? Yeah, you little dummy, you'll never be anything. Oh my God. Oh my God, that voice. I hadn't heard that voice in years, and Mr. Louie and I were talking, and I was talking about, I took the artist's way to get over a lot of the damage my parents have done to me, and it looks like I found something else in there, his years of calling me a little dummy. Anyhow, I hope I can help you figure this out too, because I figured something out this morning. All right, so why was I called little dummy all the time? I was a little dummy, but if you compared me to my two sisters, the one that's a doctor, okay, oh my gosh, and the other one that's just so cute, but she accelerated high school, so she graduated with me. Of course, they were smarter than me. Both of them, A pluses and everything, and I was the dummy with the B's and the B pluses. And oh my God, my dad was so cruel. He would, on the weekends when everybody else was out playing, I would have to sit at the dining room table, and he'd say, crack open those books, or he'd crack the whip, and by that it meant you got a beating coming. And, oh my God, a B plus. Isn't that hysterical what we get upset about? So that was my upbringing, but I learned something today. All right. It took me when I got my diagnosis of a traumatic brain injury. I had no idea that you little dummy was still in there. But I got my diagnosis of a traumatic brain injury when I was about 52 years old. And the doctor sat down with me, and he said, well, I got good news for you and I got bad news for you. And a lot of studying has to do with memory. So if you wanted to be an oceanographer, you got to study Latin for a lot of the words and everything. It deals with a lot of memory, and that was my dream in life. But get back to the doctor, Terry. So the good news is your memory will never get any worse. The bad news is it ain't getting better. And when I asked him why, he said, well, you have a dual diagnosis. You have PTSD, which of course I know, and the traumatic brain injury. So they just ping pong off each other. So I asked my doctor, what about college? Because I really wanted to go back and finish up for oceanography. I had a year worth of college already before the traumatic brain injury, and I took all of the sciences. I love science a lot. Okay, so somewhere in my brain, when I got the traumatic brain injury, and I didn't know I was doing it, and the doctor tell me you're not going to learn, and I already knew, like, my facial recognition software after the injury, my memory was shortened and everything, but that little dummy thing attached itself to all my fears of not being the person I wanted to be, not being able to attain the higher education. But like for me, I can go to college right now, and college would be free. But the doctor said, well, do things with muscle memory, like wood turning or art or painting, anything you can use your hands with. It'll get in your muscles and you'll remember it. But isn't that funny? Because when I got the traumatic brain injury diagnosis, it blew me up. I sunk into the deepest parts of depression, and I never noticed that those years of being called a little dummy attached itself. So I'm wondering, do you have something like that in your mind, to where something's pulling you way down, but it's not, it's like it's over exaggerated, and my fear of being stupid was over exaggerated for years of the abuse. So if you can find something like that, I'm going to tell you how this has helped me. I hope it helps you how to overcome it. You have to acknowledge it, number one. Number one, I'm not going to be a rocket scientist. I'm not going to be a doctor like my sister. There's a lot of things I'm not going to be. Okay, so I acknowledge it. Yeah. So once I acknowledge it, let's look at all the good things I've done with my life. When I was a little kid, I started selling things when I was 4 years old. I was always into marketing. All right, so I was probably like 24 when my husband and I, we started a print shop, believe it or not, with $500. And $500 doesn't buy anything. It didn't buy anything in 1984, and it certainly doesn't buy anything today. But we started the business with $500, and there was 120 print shops in the area. And, we start with nothing. And within 5 years, we were the third largest print shop in the Inland Empire. We were always trying to catch up to Crown Printing, but never could. But yeah, so that there's one of the things I achieved. So maybe I wouldn't be learning things, but the marketing in me, oh my gosh, that's all I love is business. And I've done it all my life. All right, so next thing, let's give us a pep talk, okay? I'm giving myself a pep talk. I set a goal to retire at 40 years. You know what? That was a hard goal to do, but I retired with my husband at age 36 years of age. Thank God our next door neighbor burned our shop down, and we got money from that. All right, let's look at another thing. You know, we're dispelling this myth that I'm a little dummy. Okay, the ogre, my ex-husband, he told me in like 2008 when I wanted to start a YouTube channel. Been there, done it. It's been out so long, you'll never ever make it. It's, you know, you're so stupid for thinking that you could actually do YouTube. And true, it takes most people that start a YouTube channel 1 to 2 years to get monetized. I did it in 21 days. Okay, how stupid can I be? I am not stupid, right? And I'm proving to myself all these things that I did that says I'm not stupid. You know, and just comparing my mom and my dad, I'm more charitable and I help way more people than my parents ever did. So that, pat myself on the shoulder for that. Okay. If I Google my name, it comes up that I was in an Academy Award winning movie and I'm an American born actress. Yay! All right. Do you know I've traveled to more places in the United States than most people have ever dreamed of? I have. And this summer, it's not going to be any different. Thank you, viewers, for writing in and telling me where to go, right? Thank you. I really, do you know, we're still patting ourselves on the shoulder because it helps. And I'm going to do this repeatedly every day until it gets through my head. I'm not a little dummy anymore. Last month, my channel got over 150,000 views. People would die for those numbers. 150,000 views. Are you kidding me? And I'm growing at 400 subscribers a month. Yay! So, Mr. Ogre, who said it couldn't be done, you were wrong. Start taking back your power over fear. That's what I'm starting to do. And I hope this morning's video has helped you. Also, I have more chances to live any way that I choose to. Why? Because the minute I embrace living in my van, minimalism, it's like, I know I can do it anywhere. I know I can live cheaply. I know how my butane stove works. I know how to cook with twigs. You know, everything that I learn goes in my toolbox, and then opportunities open up for me. So how about you? Are you ready to embrace the true you? Look back at all your accomplishments and start telling yourself why you should be proud of yourself, and do it every day if you have to. All right, that's this morning's sermon. No, I just thought it was so neat that I finally connected the dots, and by connecting the dots, it has no power over me anymore. All right, I'll see you down the road.